Hello my dear students, welcome back to Learn Physics. In today's topic, we are continuing with our moving charges and magnetism chapter, last portion, which is moving coil galvanometer. In moving coil galvanometer, see, the theory is based on the previous video. That is, a current carrying conductor or current carrying coil is present in a magnetic field. It will experience a torque. Right? Last class we learned in a rectangular coil, a magnetic, this current is passing through this rectangular coil which is present in a magnetic field. A torque is acting on it. Right? What was the torque present in it? Torque is equal to M cross B. Right? And if we are considering the area vector and magnetic field, it is M cross B, or we can write it as 2 equals NIAB. NIAB sin theta or sin alpha. Alpha is the term which we used there. Right. So, if we are considering this alpha as 90 degree, that is coil, plane of the coil and magnetic field are in the same direction. Plane of the coil is parallel to the magnetic field. Then the area vector will be perpendicular to the this magnetic field. Okay. Plane of the coil is parallel to the magnetic field. Then this alpha will be equal to 90 or theta. You are remembering, right? Theta will be equal to 0. Okay, theta plus alpha only we gave it as 90 degree. Remembering, I guess, if you didn't watch the previous video, that is given in the description box. You can please watch it and after that you can come to this topic. 2 equals NIAB sin alpha. So, if that's alpha equals 90 degree, or we can say theta equals 0. Okay. In short, that the plane of the coil and the magnetic field both are parallel to each other. If they are parallel to each other, we will be getting a maximum torque. Torque will be maximum over there. That maximum torque is represented as, radial field. Okay, maximum torque value is NIAB. This is called it is kept radially. It is in a radial field, we will say. Okay, so here in MCG also we will be considering the radial field. So what is the principle behind this moving coil galvanometer is used to detect or to measure small amount of current. Okay, even a very small amount of current also we can detect and measure using this moving coil galvanometer. So, in a moving coil galvanometer, a rectangular coil will be present of having many turns will be present, which is kept in a present in between a magnetic field. Okay, and here a phosphor bronze strip is present and which is pivoted at one end and it is free to rotate. That is very important. And inside this we will be keeping one soft iron core which will be enhancing the magnetic field effect and all that and all, you know, importance of soft iron core. So if we are keeping this in a radial field, we will be getting the maximum torque. So what is the meaning of radial field? Plane of the coil and magnetic field are parallel to each other. So we will be getting a maximum torque. Okay. When it is rotating maximum, what will happen to this phosphor bronze strip which is kept over there? It will be rotating. There a restoring torque will be developing in this phosphor bronze strip. Okay. So if the K is the restoring torque per unit twist, K is the restoring torque. Then the total restoring torque will be equal to K theta. Okay. K is restoring torque per unit twist. Then total torque acting on the phosphor bronze strip will be K theta, which will be equal to the torque which is producing in the rectangular coil, which will be equal to the torque which is produced. What is the since it is in the aerial field, we know K theta equals NIAB. or I can write it as I is equal to K theta divided by NAB. This KNAB, this and all will be constant for a particular MCG. If I am considering one MCG, that K by NAB will be a constant. Okay, so this constant is called a galvanometer constant, or we can say it is the resistance of the galvanometer. It is represented as G, I equals G theta, or we can say, since it is a constant, I is proportional to theta. So deflection is directly proportional to the current. So as current increases, deflection also will be increasing, and if current decreases, deflection also will be decreasing. Okay, and this constant, okay, what is the deflection per unit current? Okay, how much is the deflection per unit current? Theta by I. This is called as current sensitivity of a galvanometer. Sensitivity means for small current also deflection is happening. That is more sensitive instrument. Okay, if current is flowing through the through the circuit and it is deflecting. So what is the deflection for this particular amount of current? Theta by I. This is called a current sensitivity. Okay, for small deflection also, as I told you in MCG, for small deflection also we will be getting the deflection. Okay, so the theta by I is called a current sensitivity. In the same way, we can find out the voltage sensitivity also. Voltage sensitivity, then what it will be? Voltage sensitivity, theta by V is called a voltage sensitivity. Voltage sensitivity. V, how we can find out? V is equal to I into R. So in the case of voltage sensitivity, we will be getting one R also extra over there. Okay, that is voltage sensitivity. Okay, here clear children, this one. So I is equal to K by NAB. So if I am substituting that value over here in this case, first I'll rub it and tell. So this is the equation which we got, G equals K by NAB. Okay, here we found out now the current sensitivity equals theta by I. So what is this theta by I from this value? From this equation we can write theta by I equals NAB by K. Okay, this is the current sensitivity, and voltage sensitivity means if we are calculating voltage sensitivity, theta by V equals IR, so we got it as NAB by KR. This much we will be getting. So now how we can increase our current sensitivity? We can increase the current sensitivity by increasing N, increasing A, increasing B, or decreasing K. Any one method we can use. But which and all are practically possible for increasing the current sensitivity? Current sensitivity increasing means for small current itself, it should show a deflection. Okay, that is the increase in current sensitivity. So for increase in current sensitivity, number of turns of the coil we can increase. Is it practically possible this number of turns if we are increasing, then galvanometer will become very bulky, right? And along with that, resistance of the galvanometer also will be increasing if we are increasing the length. Right, R is equal to rho into L by A. R is proportional to L, that one you know. So resistance will be increasing. So this is practically not possible. Then what about the area? If we are increasing the area of cross section, what will happen? Yes, the same way, that also practically not possible. The galvanometer will become very bulky. So that is not possible. So increasing the magnetic field, that one we can use. We can use a strong magnet which is having more magnetic power. We can include that. So increasing B is possible. Now K, how we can increase? K, we should decrease the K. So we can choose such kind of material. Then we can decrease the value of K for increasing the current sensitivity. That is why we are using phosphor bronze wire which is having very low K value. Okay, clear? Clear children, understood how we can increase the current sensitivity? Now, this galvanometer we can convert to an ammeter, and we can convert to a voltmeter also. Galvanometer can be converted to an ammeter, or galvanometer can be converted to a voltmeter. How we can convert galvanometer to an ammeter? For converting galvanometer to ammeter, we should use a very small resistance called shunt resistance in parallel with the galvanometer. Okay, so this is the galvanometer, and if I am using a very small resistance in parallel with the galvanometer, or we can say it is shunt resistance. Okay, if we are using a shunt resistance in parallel with the galvanometer, then this can be used as an ammeter. So ammeter is an instrument which is having very low resistance value. Right. So if we are giving a very low shunt resistance in parallel with it, what will happen? See, current, it's very small value, right? All the current will be passing through this one. Okay, so current sensitivity can be, so we can increase the current sensitivity, or we can measure the current using, or instead of using an ammeter, we can use this galvanometer in parallel with a shunt resistance. Shunt resistance will be of very small value. Okay, clear? So this is the importance of this is how we can convert galvanometer to an ammeter. And now, how we can convert a galvanometer to voltmeter? If we are applying a galvanometer and along with that a very large value, high value of resistance, if we are using in series with the circuit, then we can convert galvanometer to voltmeter. High resistance value in series with the circuit, if we are using, what can we do? We can convert this galvanometer to a voltmeter. So if we are to convert a galvanometer to ammeter, a small shunt resistance in parallel with the galvanometer, and in the case of voltmeter, a very large value of resistance in series with the galvanometer, then it can be converted to a voltmeter. Now, how is this possible? See here, when we are using a small resistance in parallel with the circuit, and I am giving an I current here, its small current is passing through very small resistance value. R is very small for shunt resistance. So most of the current which we are sending will be going along with the shunt resistance. So what we can, this will be enabling the galvanometer to measure very small current. Okay, and in the case of the voltmeter, since it is a high resistance value, what we can do, it's a most of the voltage will be dropping across this galvanometer, this resistance. So that will be helping the galvanometer to enable the voltage value, enable it to measure that higher voltage value also. Okay, clear? So since the resistance value is less, most of the current will be going along with the shunt resistance. So galvanometer will be helping the galvanometer to measure the value of current. And in the case of voltmeter, since we are using a high resistance value, these two together, it will be helping to find out the voltmeter reading. Okay, so it is converting, it is equivalent to a voltmeter. That means since the resistance is high, most of the voltage will be dropping across that resistance. Okay, this will be helping the galvanometer to measure the voltage across the circuit. Okay, clear children? This is how. Now you should write down the equations also. Respective equations you should write down. R is equal to V by Ig minus G. Okay, this and all you will be learning in the theory part, while derivation part when we are doing, you will be doing all these things. Okay, clear children? So these are the main theory portions relating to this chapter. Okay, so I think this is clear for you. In this next video, we will be doing this some numerical and previous year questions. That and all we will be discussing in the next video. So I think it is useful for you, and if you like the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you for watching. Bye.